Chelsea with a must-win over Southampton. Today's video, we are going to be going over the tactics that Enzo Maresca utilized to get all 3 points, get back in the top 4, and hopefully get back on the winning ways. Now, first off, we obviously understand we were playing Southampton, who are the bottom of the barrel. This should have been an easy win, and Chelsea did just that. Now, the one big talking point we need to look at, though, first is who we started as our striker. Now, obviously, with the injuries with Nico Jackson, we need to have someone else now. We did start Nkunku last match, which we all know how that ended up turning out for us. With Nkunku, there was definitely plenty of open space in this area that we never had anyone driving into. The fact that Neto was able to step up and play his position made a huge difference, because not only is he very fast, we already knew that, but he's actually able to understand where to run and drift in and actually push the defenders back. This allowed us then to have plenty of space inside this area right here of the pitch, because as he was driving the defenders back into different areas, we then could see that Palmer, even Nkunku, could drift into these areas to actually receive the ball, and because of this, they were able to then facilitate the ball around these areas to, again, find different channels to eventually find different players. And yes, we had multiple opportunities. We probably could have scored more than 4 goals, but we still found the back of the net multiple times. Now, again, I don't think Neto got enough credit that he should have, but right now, if he continues to start as our striker, we should be okay until Nicholas Jackson comes back from injury. Hopefully, Neto can stay healthy. The other big talking point, though, was Nkunku playing on this left side. Now, we just mentioned earlier how he was able to drift in. This made a huge difference as well, because as he drifted in, Cucurella was able to then drift up into this upper area, which, again, we've seen him do this plenty of time. He even drifted into the midfield, allowing Enzo Fernandez to push up as well, and therefore, again, Palmer could drift as well. This allowed us to overload multiple areas of the pitch, but like I said, with Nkunku able to drift in and actually play behind a second striker, this is what this guy is actually good at, not being the lone striker, because he needs a player to do 1-2s with, which we saw him do with Neto. In that second goal, he received the ball, Neto did an overlapping run, he played a through ball, and Neto smashed the ball into the back of the net. Nkunku is able to find spaces. He's not a guy that really creates the spaces, but he can see where to play the balls and how to get the ball there, and therefore, again, this was one of the better ways to actually utilize him. On top of that, on the opposite side, we had Jadon Sancho on that right side, which we all know this guy can play left side, right side, so again, he has the capability of doing multiple things, but he was then able to maintain this right side, and therefore, again, we didn't have to worry about overloading this side as much. Gusto was able to drift forward if he needed to a little bit, didn't push up too much as Cucurella did, but this allowed us to actually have more of a cohesive team as well, because as Cucurella did push up into this area and everyone else moved up, we still had this whole area able to move the ball back and forth and not really ever get hit on counterattacks. Even if they tried playing the ball over the top, we had Koa, we had Tosin, we had Gusto, who could drop back, and Cancelo definitely did his job in the midfield once again, not surprising. Overall, though, this team, which we saw that came out, did play very well. I think defensively-wise, they did what they needed to do. They got a clean sheet, which, again, Chelsea have been lacking this season. I think Jorgensen, yes, who did have an error last match against Aston Villa, did show up, had a massive save in the beginning of this match, and therefore, again, should get credit where credit is due. This side right now with these 4 players, I think, should continue to start. Yes, we do have Reece James on the bench, but really when we're looking at what we need to do and operate with this team, it almost makes more sense to start these 4 guys, especially after the last match, keeping a clean sheet, and therefore, again, continue to move in the right direction. With the attacking third, it still makes sense then to obviously stick with these 4 players as well, including Enzo Fernandez in that as well. Even though Palmer has been struggling a little bit, especially this last match, he may need some rest, because there were opportunities that he could have played the ball off to Nkunku. I think he could have played to Neto and even Jadon Sancho. Instead, he took the shot, which, again, he didn't put too many on target, and it just seemed like he was slightly fatigued. But overall, this was a big momentum shift for Chelsea. Again, this got us back in the top 4. Yes, there's still matches to play this week where Chelsea could drop back out of the top 4, but the fact is we are back on course to, again, continue to work and finish in the top 4 this season. Overall, I think Chelsea played a phenomenal game this match. Enzo Maresca did make some substitute changes in the second half. Didn't make a huge difference. Chelsea already in the driving force. But overall, starting Nkunku as the left wing, starting Neto as the striker, and Jadon Sancho on the right side, I think were very smart decisions for this match because, again, it allowed us to be very creative, not just on one side, but also on both sides. But again, it allowed us to really open up this channel and therefore, again, break down the lines at Southampton. Yes, aren't very good defensively, but yet they can still drop into a low block. And therefore, again, the fact that we were able to break that fairly easy and very quickly in this match did take a lot of pressure off the defense. And therefore, again, Chelsea were more at ease throughout this match. So overall, big points for Chelsea, 3 points, top 4 again. Enzo Maresca with a big win. So hopefully we can move this into our next match. If you enjoyed this video, I greatly appreciate if you do hit the like button, subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next video.